A young man looks for purpose. He searches for meaning. He dreams of love, but more than anything, he needs a role model, a hero, a father, a grandfather, someone who embodies everything he hopes to be. For me, I found that here in this house. My grandfather showed me what hard work looked like, what purpose felt like, and what it meant to be a horseman. As a child, it was a dream to be just like him. But life carried me far from that dream. So far that I was sure it was gone forever. But nothing is ever gone forever. Sometimes it's just waiting to come back around at the perfect time. My name is Lance William Yunker Strong, and I work for CalVet, the California Department of Veteran Affairs, and I'm the state rep for the San Diego area. I'm also a combat wounded veteran. As soon as I graduated high school, I left for the infantry basic training at Fort Benning. I went to airborne school, graduated, got my wings, was then sent to Fort Bragg, where I joined the 82nd Airborne. Got sent about 2 weeks later to Baghdad, and when I got there, I was put into a reconnaissance surveillance target acquisition unit. And on September 10th of 2007, we were tasked with doing a high-value target raid. And unfortunately, the driver of the vehicle ended up losing control, ended up going through the guardrail, and we fell off a 50-foot overpass. And it crushed us all. And unfortunately, I lost 7 brothers, and then 11 of us were severely wounded, including myself. San Luis Obispo is a small town, and I was treated like a hero. I mean, I had a hero's welcome. The streets were, I'm getting emotional thinking about it, because the streets were just lined with all these people, which was amazing, but also hard, because a lot of guys didn't get that.
I thank you guys again just so much for coming out and supporting me, and I really wish that all my guys could have this.
I think from there it kind of put this burden on me a little bit to be that hero who returned home. What was really hard was I end up becoming the Governor Schwarzenegger's poster child for California veterans, right? And so I'm going to the White House, going to the Pentagon.
Please welcome Lance Yunker.
And I'm seen as this hero who's had this amazing transition, and yet on the inside, I'm dying. So I met my wife, Lori, 4 days after I got out of the hospital. We ended up being married a year and a half later. And I would say that the PTSD and the survivor's guilt really didn't start till after I was married. When my wife was pregnant, we decided to move down here to San Diego, and that's when I got the job with CalVet. We had a brand new home. Our first kid came 2 weeks later. Things were seeming well, but there was just still so much work and healing to do, and I didn't know how to resolve that. In 2021, I had another really bad Crohn's flare, and in that time I was doing physical therapy. And I met a guy named Gabe. His boss owned a horse ranch, and she put on a fundraiser for Saddles and Service. That's how I found Saddles and Service. I signed up. There was something about that first day of coming to Saddles and Service and feeling like I was coming home. Saddles and Service, through their different phases, you start at ground level, right, of learning the physiology and psychology of a horse, all the way up until I was, moving hundreds of head of cattle on a historic ranch in Montana. When you talk to scientists who study horses, it's like the only animal that was perfectly made for a human to ride. There is a partnership that was created, and Saddles and Service is bringing that together.
Horses just teach us to be such great communicators. You don't have to be perfect to start horsemanship, but it has the capacity to perfect. If you're too much of a tyrant, a horse won't tolerate it. And if you're too much of a pushover and maybe a little timid, they'll run all over you. So it really makes you dig deep within yourself and ask yourself some questions about how you communicate, and that's just, I think, incredibly unique.
Saddles and Service allowed for this veteran's dream to come true. That was a long time ago.
That was yesterday. You told me when you first started this that it was something that you'd always dreamed of since you used to come to our brandings and used to watch us work cattle. And I'm so thankful that you did, and you got an opportunity to actually fulfill that dream. The other thing that's good about Saddles and Service is they teach you what they call the vaquero way of working horses, and they use that tack and they use those methods of training horses and working horses, and it's much quieter, and the horses end up with a much better temperament. It's not breaking by force, but it's breaking by forming a bond.
For me, Saddles and Service has combined so many things that I was missing as a veteran. Whether it's the community and the tribe, whether it's being out in nature and just like resetting the whole entire system, right? Like getting out of everything, unplugging, you're focusing, you're in a meditative state, your brain is healing. It's like all therapies in one. And it laid the healing process for over 2 years of doing sessions. Whether I was working the colts or working the horses or riding or moving cattle or whatever it was, laid the foundation of all that healing, all of those things, combining for so long over a period of time. When I got to Montana, it was something so deep and transformative that I will carry it with me the rest of my life. Within the first half day, I had gotten everything I had dreamed of this cowboy experience. I had no idea what was to lay ahead the rest of the week and how much it was going to transform me and reset my soul. I think I was carrying the guilt of I survived and my 7 brothers didn't, right? And a lot of them were dads. And I was just a young guy. And I thought that I couldn't be happy or live a fulfilled life because it would dishonor what they lost, right? And so I'm sitting there on the last night in Montana, all the stars, I could see the horses in the moonlight. And it was like all 7 guys spoke to me and said, "It's okay. We want you to be happy. We want you to live a full life in honor of us." This ranch is proof that no matter how invisible or helpless you may feel, there is always something to look toward, something greater than your suffering. Here, it's community, it's wisdom, it's healing. Every year, Saddles and Service depends on your kindness, your belief, to keep this alive. Because what happens here, the tears, the smiles, the hope, doesn't come from one person alone. It comes from the volunteers, the horses, and from you sitting here, listening to my story and to countless others. I thank you. Saddles and Service thanks you. The hundreds of other heroes that have gone through this program, thank you. My incredible wife, whose love and support never wavered through it all, thanks you. And if the horses could speak, you'd hear a thank you from them too. But the truth is, they do speak. And that's the beauty of it all.